So we'll continue the free electron gas model. For metals. So, as we have discussed that metal shows many properties as a function of temperature, as a function of electric field, as a function of magnetic field, right. So, to explain those properties, so this free electron model is used, and we have seen that using this free electron model one can derive the Ohm's, one can derive functional form of Ohm's law. Also, we have seen the validity of Weidmann-Franz law, validity of right, that conductivity, thermal conductivity, ratio of thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity, that is proportional to T temperature. So, these two are very famous law and frequently used, and these two are completely depend on this free electron gas model, or other way, using the free electron gas model, these two can be understood. Okay. So, this is the great success, this is the great success of free electron gas model, but the remarkable failure of this free electron gas model. So, this I can write success so this basically success, and remarkable failure is, one is heat capacity, electronic heat capacity or specific heat. So, this from free electron gas model. So, whatever heat capacity we get, that does not agree with the experimental result, and there is a big deviation. So, from free electron gas model we cannot explain this electronic heat capacity of metals. Second, paramagnetic susceptibility. So, that also electronic contribution, electronic paramagnetic susceptibility okay. So, whatever this result we get from this free electron gas model, that also is does not agree with the experimental result, and not only agree, is a huge deviation or observed. So, these two also very important property of metal, and that cannot be explained using this free electron gas model. Okay. So, these are basically remarkable failure we tell, although it has several success. So, now where is the problem? So, that let us see first this, what was the result for heat capacity and susceptibility we get from the free electron gas model. So, this heat capacity, you know, this that if you increase the temperature, so to increase 1 degree temperature, what amount of heat required for that material. So, that is the heat capacity. So, this and for specific amount of heat material, then it is specific heat, it may be a 1 gram mole or 1 gram. So, if you quantify the quantity, then it is specific heat, otherwise as a whole, this for whole mass, whole system, we tell the heat capacity, right. So, free electron model is basically, it's we have free electron, right, we have free electron, assembly of free electron in a box, metal box, means metal surface are there and inside electrons are there, they cannot come out, but they can move freely inside the box, inside the metal, right. So, if we apply heat on this metal, so what will happen? So, it will absorb heat and each electron will absorb heat, right. So, if you increase at temperature T, so this each electron will have energy, absorb energy 3/2 kBT, right. So, basically that is equipartition energy law. So, how many, if I take 1 gram mole atom, okay. So, it will have Avogadro number of atom. So, if each atom give one valence electron, have one valence electron, so we will have this Avogadro number of free electron, right. So, each electron will have this energy 3/2 kBT, okay. It will absorb this amount of energy, heat energy. So, then for 1 gram mole Avogadro number of electrons are there. So, total energy of that system for that 1 gram mole, it will be total energy E, right. So, heat capacity is at C it is basically dE by dt, right, for how much energy is required to change 1 degree temperature, right. So, that is dE by dt, okay. So, that will be 3 by 2 in NA kb, right. So, this is the molar specific heat. It is, since it is quantity is defined 1 mole. So, it is called molar heat capacity or molar specific heat. Okay. So, from free electron theory we are getting that this will be the amount of. So, this one can write 3 by 2 R, right. R is generally 2 calorie. So, it is around 3 calorie. So, this specific heat will be 3 calorie, okay, or molar heat capacity will be 2 will be 3 calorie. So, this value is very high compared to the experimental value, whatever experimentally it is observed, the value is observed. So, this value is quite high, because this heat capacity basically it has for metal, it has its 2 contribution. One is from lattice vibration, okay, and another is from this electronic contribution. So, for insulating material it is seen that this for 1 mole material, insulating material, the heat capacity is 6 calorie, right. So, this for this metal, that 6 calorie 3 hours or 3 hours, that will be there, plus additional from electronic contribution, this will come, okay. So, total heat capacity of this metal should be around this value, but it is seen that, so it is the, so contribution for electronic contribution in specific heat, it is almost 50%, right, it is 50%, but it is seen that this contribution of electron of metal, so it is very small, it is very small. So, whatever the value is observed is it is 1/100th of, it is around 1/100th of this value, it is the experimental value, okay. So, it is deviated from the experimental value, and thus this, considering this free electron gas model, so this electronic heat capacity we cannot explain, right. So, that is one remarkable failure of this model. And second is paramagnetic susceptibility. So, you know this there are 4 types of, mainly 4 types of magnetic property one can see. This one is diamagnetic, another is paramagnetic, third one is ferromagnetic and fourth one is antiferromagnetic. Right. So, these are the main magnetic property. So, everything we express in terms of one can express in terms of susceptibility, one can express in terms of susceptibility. So, susceptibility is defined as that chi, susceptibility chi, it is defined as magnetic moment or magnetization by magnetic field. Okay. So, when we apply magnetic field on a material, so this magnetic moment of each atom or each electron, okay, so they aligned along the magnetic field direction. So, because of magnetic field we get net magnetic moment, of that material, and now this magnetic moment per unit volume, that is defined as a magnetization. So, magnetization divided by magnetic field, at this magnetic field what was the magnetization? So, then that is the susceptibility. Okay. So, this susceptibility for this for metal, one can, so here just I mentioned these are, so all of them are can be differentiate using this term, this susceptibility. So, but I will not discuss about these all things. I think when I will teach this magnetic property of solids, then I will discuss. So, just here I want to mention about the susceptibility, and susceptibility is a important parameter which can tell about different kind of magnetic property. So, this susceptibility chi equal to m by h. So, one can find out. So, if you take 1 gram mole material, say metal, okay. So, again, so then I can write this molar susceptibility chi m, right. So, it has 1 gram mole material, and this will have, this metal will have the free electron. So, say it has Avogadro number of atoms. So, Avogadro number of electrons will, free electrons will be there. If it is 1 valence electron per atom, so in that case, so Avogadro number of electrons, free electrons will be there, and one can find out that this molar susceptibility, it will be just let me write this expression Na, I will not derive, just it comes Na mu v square divided by 3 A B T. Okay. So, considering the free electron gas model, if you take 1 gram mole metal, so in that case this molar susceptibility equal to this this expression comes based on this free electron gas model. Okay. So, here this is Na is Avogadro number and mu v, what is mu v? Mu v is called the Bohr magneton, Bohr magneton. It is called Bohr magneton. This is very important universal constant. So, it is as important as this electronic charge E, right, electronic charge E. So, charge of electron, it is basically 1.9 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, right, charge of a 1 electron. So, but we can express in terms of this unit E, right. So, 2E, 3, 5E, that means 5 times of charge of 1 electrons. Okay. So, we can either express in terms of coulomb or we can express in terms of E. So, this is a universal constant. So, similarly, this mu v also for magnetism is universal unit. So, its value is 9.274, it is 9.274 into 10 to the power minus 24 joule per Tesla. So, this is SI unit, joule per Tesla. So, I think I am not able to say joule per Tesla, joule per Tesla, joule per Tesla. Still it is not going out of this. Okay. So, joule per Tesla. So, that is SI unit basically. Okay. So, Bohr magneton, origin of Bohr magneton you know probably, I do not know whether you are familiar with this or not. So, mu v equal to E H cross by 2 m e. So, mass of electron, this is the electronic charge, right. So, solar constant, you know the value of E, you know the H cross means H by 2 pi, right, H cross is H by 2 pi, Planck constant, mass of the electron. So, this expression, this basically comes from this from Bohr orbit. So, when hydrogen in a ground state, it has 1 electron. So, electron is in a 1s orbital, right. This is a hydrogen atom, 1s. So, 1 electron is moving. When 1 electron is moving, as I have shown earlier, so you can find out the magnetic moment, and that magnetic moment is basically, it comes this. Okay. So, that mu v is, you can say that it is the magnetic moment of this electron, of this hydrogen atom, when the atom is in ground state. Means, so electron will rotate in the lowest energy state, right. So, all the time it will all the time it will be the, for ground state it will be the in this orbit, and then when it is rotating in that orbit, so current is flowing in a closed path. So then one can calculate magnetic moment for this closed path. Okay. So that I have shown you earlier. So that basically whatever magnetic moment for this, so that is this is the value, this is the value, and that is taken as a unit. Okay. So in terms of mu v, one can express the magnetic moment of other atoms or material. Okay. So here this is the, according to free electron gas model, this is the expression, and here you can see that chi m is inversely proportional to temperature. So that is the result from free electron gas model, but experimentally it shows that metal, non-ferromagnetic metal, non-ferromagnetic normal metal, it is not ferromagnetic material, not ferromagnetic metal, non-ferromagnetic metal, it generally this chi m is independent of temperature, it does not depend on temperature, but free electron gas model is saying no, it is inversely proportional. So it is a big deviation. Okay. And its whatever magnitude comes from here, so these also very high compared to the experimental result, experimental value. So thus it is also big deviation from the experimental result, and thus this free electron gas model also is failure for this for explaining the electronic paramagnetic susceptibility. Okay. So this free electron gas model, is it successful in some cases and it is failure also in other cases. So there is a, it is not a very correct model. So it has deficiency. So what is that deficiency, that we will see in next class. Okay. So actually this whatever treatment we have here we have done. So that considering this is the classical theory, basically we have used classical theory or classical approach. Okay. So this is not the right one. So this system demands the quantum theory. So when we will consider quantum theory, so then we can explain everything based on that quantum theory. So we will start this quantum theory next class. Thank you very much for your kind attention.